into your practice for today. This practice has specifically been structured to help us build Manipura. And Manipura is the element of fire. It is the navel chakra. And from Manipura we get strength and confidence and the ability to stand in our own power. And so with this energy from the current full moon, which is this sense that really we can get at any time in our life, which is that there are these social influences and maybe even kind of social conditioning that we have inside of our head, as well as from those in our immediate surrounding, who we are in relationship with, that have certain expectations on us to behave in a particular way. And this can be a reality. They can truly be having those expectations on us, and they can be expectations that we have learned through social conditioning, that because I am X, Y, or Z, I should be X, Y, or Z. And it's this should that can really weigh on us and cause us to feel like we need to perfect ourselves. It can make us criticize ourselves. It can make us feel like a total victim of our mind. And so without going too far into it, because I'm sure that most of you already are like, yeah, I know this, I'm going to give you some practices that I do to help myself come back to pure presence, especially when dealing with insecurity and social influences, which are kind of coming more from Svadhisthana chakra and then moving it up into Manipura. So first and foremost, I stand with a wider step. One of my teachers, Qigong teacher really, says that the reason that China has never fallen is because this is how they stand. All the other soldiers in the world stand like this, and you give them one good push and they're going to fall. But when we have this wide base with the earth, this wide connection with the ground, then we're strong and we're rooted. So I want to invite you to, wherever you are, come to a standing position and take just a comfortable wide stance. It doesn't need to be super wide nor too close together, but something where you can feel a connection with the earth. And for myself, I often find I need to kind of bob up and down in the knees, maybe move the feet around until I feel this kind of rootedness coming through my feet. It can be even better if you take off your socks or your shoes. Even better if you can practice right on the earth. And when you find this position, eyes closed or with a soft gaze, we'll just take a moment to connect with the breath. And feel free throughout this practice to release sighs and sounds as much as you can. Within this kind of social normativity that we feel we need to adhere to, there is a linear conformity that we often restrict ourselves within. And when we sigh and when we're loose with the body and when we're in the body, this breaks us free of this. So letting out sighs help to tell the body it's okay. We don't need to hold this rigidity anymore. We don't need to be restricted to the mind and our social conditioning of who and what we're supposed to be. And let's just taking some big inhalations through the nose and exhalations out of the mouth. Again, eyes closed or a soft gaze, whatever works for you. Start to bring that bounce into the knees if you haven't yet done so. And if you'd like, you can just kind of shake the head and kind of intuitively take a moment to connect with the body. Maybe there's some places where you can physically feel that tension, that holding from mind to body. And you can flutter your lips. Very good. And shaking the hands, shaking the hips. start to bring movement throughout the body, but keep those feet rooted to the ground. We're pulling this energy of the earth up through our feet. Very good. And don't be afraid to get weird with it, to shake your head. Knowing that I'm simply a guide, so and at any time something that I'm suggesting to you isn't feeling comfortable, feel free to break out of this. It's not up to me to tell you how to move your body. I can be here for suggestions, I can be here for guidance, but ultimately, if you sink into your body and sink into this present moment, you're going to feel how it intuitively wants to release. Fast shaking, slow shaking, whatever it is, find that place where you've been still kind of holding and let it go. Two more big breaths. Very good. And from here, we're just going to come into a slow squat. So the hands will come down together in fists in front of us. As we bend the knees aren't going out over the toes, sitting down through the tailbone. And inhale, we rise. And at your own pace, as you exhale, you'll rise. And the hands can kind of, I like to flick them back behind me. And the more you feel you have this rigidity inside of you, something holding you, something you need to release, feel free to just really let that go. Very good. Up and down. And then coming down into a squat. Hands can now come out to the sides, holding here. Find your breath. Big belly breaths. Inhale, we rise, step the legs together and shake it out if you need. Feeling a release of kind of tamasic energy, of this darkness, this insecurity, self-doubt. And feel as blood is kind of flowing through you, your breath is flowing through you, there's this sense of starting fresh. Very good. We'll step to the top of the mat. Hands can come together in heart center. Prayer mudra. Pushing the thumbs into the heart space. There can be a kind of projection or misunderstanding, really, that if we are to live from the heart, we are to kind of be peaceful and passive all of the time. But I don't know about you, but here at the ashram, we have bears come here every spring, and it's the mother bear who you do not want to mess with. It's the mother moose who you do not want to mess with, because she has this fierce love for her little baby. And I want to invite you to cultivate this right here, right now. This fierce and fearless love. In this space, I can make mistakes. In this space, I am messy. In this space, I am whole in my incompleteness. I am full in my not knowing. I don't need to be conforming to any other person's story. I don't need to be kind of following somebody else's expectations. I am here. I am now. I am full and complete here in the heart. If I allow this to shine forward, there's nothing else to do. From this space in the heart, life just flows out of me. Feel this now. The hands pressed together at heart center. Inhaling, we push our prayer up to the sky, offering it up to the universe. Exhaling, we'll come down, swan diving forward into a forward fold. Take a moment here. Bending the knees as deeply as you need, bringing the fingertips or the hands down towards the feet, blocks, pillows, your feet, the ground. Drop the muscles in the neck. Sighing as much as you need to. Rock the head from side to side, as if shaking the head to say no. This helps to engage the parasympathetic nervous system. Feel as though, as you inhale, you pull this earth energy up through the legs, and as you exhale, you release out through the hands. Bend those knees as much as you need, making contact with the earth. 2 more big breaths. Bringing the hands down to the ground, pushing them into the earth. Step or hop those legs back into a plank. Pushing out through the heels. We can always drop the knees down here to a supported plank. Just make sure that the hips don't come up too high. Find your breath. And then shifting the weight over to the right hand, left hand can come up overhead. Alternatively, we can also drop that right knee down to the ground. Big, long, steady breaths here. Feel your own power. Feel the support of the earth through your hand. Switching over to the opposite side. Left hand comes down, shifting over to the right leg now, or the left arm, sorry. Taking any modifications we need or feel we want today. Exhaling back to plank. Drop the knees, drop the chest, drop the chin. Inhaling up into a cobra, mini cobra, or upward facing dog, whatever you feel you need today. Big breaths here. Feel as though in this moment you're shining from the heart. Bring the fingertips down towards the lower ribs, curling the toes under, downward dog. Shaking the head, bending one knee and then the other, bicycling these legs. Big, long, steady breaths. Pose for Manipura chakra, the navel chakra, element of fire. Here we find willpower, self-confidence. Inhaling, we'll lift that right leg up, draw circles with the toes. And on your next exhale, step the hand up between the hands, the foot up between the hands, high lunge. Hands can be up overhead, down at the knees, or on the hips. Pushing out through that back left heel, right knee over right ankle. Very good. One more big breath. And on your next exhale, hands come down to frame the right foot, downward dog. Feeling the fire here. Inhaling, left foot comes up. Draw circles with the toes. Exhaling, stepping it up between the hands. High lunge. Hands overhead, hands on the knees, hands on the hips. One more big breath. And exhaling, framing the left foot, downward dog. Bending the knees, rising up onto the toes. Bring the gaze between the hands and hop or step forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. The hands will come up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Feel yourself here as a fierce warrior. A warrior of love. Connecting with your own heartbeat. This is your own internal drum, encouraging you, liberating you, cracking you open. Keeping the right foot where it is. Left foot will step back. Bending the right knee. Hips are facing forward. Hands are out to the sides. Find your breath. Right elbow down to right knee, left hand swoops up and around, pushing out through the left baby toe, reaching out through the left fingertips. Very good. Inhale, we rise, lengthen through the right leg. Left hand comes down to thigh or hip. Right hand comes up overhead and we lean back into our vulnerability, exposing ourselves. Inhale, we rise, windmill the hands around, and we'll step back up into a forward fold, grabbing holds of the ankles, the calves, a strap, a block. Drop in the head, find your breath. Bending the knees as much as you need to here. The right leg will step back and we'll make a triangle. Hands can be on the ground or on the shins, really bringing them down to the ground and bending the knees is best here. Remembering to sigh and release and shake that head and stick out your tongue as you let go through the mouth. Oh, very good. Slowly from here, we're going to shift the weight onto the left leg and just come into a bit of a balancing pose. The leg can be down low, the leg can be up by the hips. Alternatively, you can also start to come into kind of a warrior 3 here. If you'd like to play with that, lifting the hands up off the ground, bringing them to the heart, or maybe placing them on a chair in front of you, or staying on the ground. Wherever you are, find your breath. Lift that leg as high as feels comfortable. There should be a slight burn, but no pain. Bending in the left knee, 2 more big breaths. And swooping that leg through, not dropping it, we'll hug it up into the chest, coming into a standing posture here, balancing on the left leg. Shoulders away from the ears. And exhale, we'll release the right leg. Shake it out. Very good. Hands over the heart once again. Feeling that internal beat, the sacred drum of your heart. Feeling already that there's this spaciousness coming into your being. Really, it's not coming into your being, it's what your being is. It's open spaciousness. We only momentarily mistook ourselves for the victim that our mind may tell us that we are, bombarding us with thoughts of self-doubt and insecurity. But here in the heart space, we remember we're free. We are not bound to the social expectations of our society, of our family, or even of our own inner story. Feeling ourselves as a warrior of love. Step the opposite leg back now, coming into a high lunge once again. Or sorry, no high lunge, we've done this already. Coming into a warrior posture, the hips are facing forward, the hands are out to the sides. For you, it'll be your right leg back. Find your breath. Pushing out through the left toe, right toe for you, left toe for me. Gazing over your right fingertips, find your breath. Left elbow down to left knee, right arm swoops up and around, reaching out through the right fingertips, pushing out through the right baby toe. Find your breath. Stack that right arm over the right ear. Inhaling, we rise. Find length in the left leg. Right hand comes down to the hip or the thigh. Left hand comes up overhead and we expose ourselves, sinking into our vulnerability once again. A warrior doesn't need to be strong and cold, emotionless. Inhaling, we rise, windmill the hands around, frame the front right foot and step back into your forward fold. Hugging the calves or the ankles or the toes, rocking the head from side to side, bending the knees as deeply as you like, releasing big exhalations and sighs through the mouth. Taking some big breaths here. And the opposite leg as before. Keep the right foot forward and step the left leg back. Bending the knees as deeply as you need to. Bring the hands and head down to the earth, staying steady in your breath. And slowly walking the weight into the right foot, rooting down through the right foot. Left leg can float up off the ground. And it can just be slightly off the ground. It can be coming up as high as you feel. Hands can be on the earth, on a chair, or up in our heart space. Bending through that right knee just ever so slightly. Putting intention through the left foot. 2 more big breaths. And slowly we keep the balance on the right leg, shift the weight forward, hug that left knee in. And exhale, release. Shake it out. Finding your breath, feeling rooted through your toes, bottoms of the feet. Slow and steady breath. I'm going to do one last practice here. I don't know how it will translate through like a camera, but these are what I call the goddess kicks. So I'm going to turn slightly to one side. You can have your right leg forward for this time, left leg back, and again we come into this kind of fists together and down in the chest, and we bend our weight back onto the left leg, right leg forward. And I like to really take an opportunity here to imagine what it is that you feel is really restricting you. A thought, an emotion, an experience, a story we're telling ourselves, and feel that for a moment. And then feel the power in your back left leg as you bend into it. You're kind of like a tiger here, right? There's this possibility to pounce. And feeling your breath, take a big inhale. And we'll exhale and kick the left leg forward. Ha! Okay? So here we go, in our own pace. Ha! 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 Two more. Ha! Ha! Very good. And shake it out. Maybe you moved your mat the way I did. Good. Feels good. And we'll switch over now. Bring the weight to the back right leg. Hands are in fists. And as we do this, as we kick that leg forward, the arms, they also come back. Right? Good. So feeling the power in the back right leg. This potential of release. Centering ourselves. Big inhale, and in your own time. Ha! 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 Two more. Ha! 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 Very good. Shake it out. Arms can come up overhead, wider stance with the legs. Very good. Inhaling, arms up overhead, rise up onto your toes, squeezing and reaching for the sky. And on an exhale, drop the heels, drop the hands. Let's do this two more times. Inhale, reach up. Okay, two more actually. I like it. Inhale, rise, hold the breath. Very good. One more. Inhale, rise, reach, hold the breath. Exhale, drop the heels, drop the hands. One hand over the heart, one hand over the belly. Manipura chakra, the element of fire that's in your navel. Feel it through your hand. This power within you, this strength. And feel that with each exhale, as the belly button comes in on the exhale, it pushes this fire up into the heart. You can even visualize Or simply feel the air as it moves from belly up to heart. With each exhale, it's kind of blowing on the embers of the heart, but not in this passive and peaceful manner, but this fire, this fierce, this passion for life. Feeling this vitality within your being with each breath. Very good. And slowly we'll come down into a cross-legged position. Just take a moment here. Really, you could also be in a chair or seated on a pillow. Wherever you are, the spine is straight. If you'd still like the hands over belly and heart, you can keep them there, but just connecting with the breath. Feeling this upward flow of energy. Hands out to the sides. Inhaling, we lift the hands up overhead. Bring them into a prayer. Exhale to make a circle back around. This is simultaneously clearing the energy around us as well as kind of creating our own space, helping us to have boundaries and a secure space that we can rest in our own power. Inhaling, the hands come up. Exhaling, they come around in a circle again. Two more times. Inhaling up, creating this circle of power. Exhaling, we rest in it, clearing any energy that no longer serves us. One more. Inhaling up. Exhaling, drawing that circle. One more time. This time we'll inhale up again the same way. Hands overhead, but they don't touch. Feeling the possibility for them touching, kind of energy between the palms of the hands. And when you feel this this power between the palms of your hands, these sources of creativity, these hands which are the possibility for giving and receiving a flow of energy, slowly bring the hands down through your center, very slowly. Again, the hands are open and our fingertips are kind of spread as if we're clearing what's in front of us, clearing the path in front. Right hand will stop over the heart. Left hand will continue on through the center, down to the belly, and place the hands over this area. In a sense, this is kind of your mudra for today. Connecting the element of fire in your heart, that it may lead you, support you, in bringing love into action in the world. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Blessings, my siblings. May this practice serve you and those around you. Namaste.